This experience has impacted my life, actually. It opened my mind for all the different careers in aviation, and I just knew I wanted to be a pilot.
Learning to build a wing really takes many skills.
Okay, this is a great opportunity for them to actually see how that construction is going on.
That's what this is about, is opening those opportunities for kids.
I guess it was January, February that we received all of our information.
We got the plane in, and all the students were wanting to take it out of the package and see what all we had.
They were all raring to go. They were ready to just tear into the box and get everything out, and I'm going, whoa, wait, whoa, you know.
From my experience, I knew you can't do that. You have to build it right.
It really lets them use aspects or elements of their classes that are science, technology, engineering, and math classes, their STEM education courses.
When we finally got the plane put together, I think they all felt a sense of accomplishment. I think it was about the fourth try to get the motor started that you should have heard them cheer.
So then we were ready to build the wing.
The teams had to tackle the design problem, which is design a light wing and carry a heavy payload.
So we conducted a lot more research than I thought we were going to. We cut all the ribs out by hand, and we didn't think they were going to look that good. We started putting the wing together, and it turned out perfect. Couldn't have been any better.
It's real work. It's not something out of a book. It's not theory. It's real application. It's students learning math and science.
Our wing is Greg's small.
Because our wing is smaller than everybody else?
Yeah.
See, like right there, if there was a runway right there.
The day of the competition was nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time.
We were basically in awe. They were up at the windows and like, look at that, you know. And it was quite an eye-opener to see the facilities and realize we are going to fly. We are flying with other people.
We arrived, got the plane out, got it set up, and I started conversing with all the other students, and they were just like us.
I think that helped when they saw the different groups coming in, and that was quite amazing to see on their faces. For me, as a teacher, and all of a sudden realizing that these minds are clicking, going, wow, we can do these kind of things.
They all kind of worked on and looked at each other's designs and compared what others did to their own. And once the flight started, everyone was cheering when they were successful.
Mentorship during the day of the competition occurred at many levels. There were the teachers, the high school teachers and their own teams of students. There were the college students mentoring the high school students. Many of these teams brought their own AMA pilots, and so those pilots were teaching the students as well.
They had to make adjustments throughout the day. And you notice that level of engagement for the students actually going through their hypothesis. Well, what if I do this? What if I do this? And they would make a good, educated guess as to what to do next. And then they would go out to the flight line and see it applied in action.
First flight was perfect, but our airplane didn't weigh enough. So we started adding mass, and we figured out the box that we made inside the fuselage wouldn't hold more mass. So we had to think of a way to put more mass on it.
And so we're digging through all of our materials. We're going, okay, well, we can do this, and we're trying to actually figure out how we are at that time going to modify. And the kids are coming up with all different ideas.
This is where a lot of the real learning comes in, because you're changing the design on the fly under the competition elements.
We didn't have any wood, we didn't have any epoxy. So what we found was a tool pouch, and we literally taped the tool pouch to the bottom of the airplane. And we started putting tools in the tool pouch.
But it was all problem solving. It was very good for them to work together on that and see how they worked through.
Well, we added the weight, and the airplane weighed 11 pounds. The airplane lifted off, and it just barely flew. I couldn't even do my first turn, so I had to bring it around and land it. We took some weight out of it, and it was the final flight. and it flew perfect. We looked at the scoreboard after we landed and we got second place. We just felt so successful.
For me, one of the highlights was seeing that there were 6 very different designs that flew. And I think that's so important for students to understand that there's not just one right answer.
My freshman year, I came into school struggling, and it made me do very well in school now. I have an AB average in school, and it has really changed my perspective on schooling and real life. I'm now currently training to get my pilot's license.
Being in a rural area, we don't have as much exposure, and that is exposure that they could go a lifetime without having.
There was a lot of learning that was going on throughout the process, but at the end I thought everyone had a smile on their face.
Understanding that they could design and build and successfully fly, an aircraft of their own design, and to see the range of designs that were successful was such a highlight, and that experience for me is something that I'll always remember.